Maybe it's certified. Maybe it's certified. That's the local Friday. Our power.
Outer blocks. Those are a little thicker than your normal ones, right? Those are thicker. Like you can still lift up on those.
Yeah, good.
These are actually from Megan's. She gave them to me.
All right. So today we're going to do one of my fellow Budokan instructors. I was watching a video that she put up. She's up in Memphis. Actually, Rob went in one of her classes. And he came back reporting he was very sore in different ways. She posted like a quick handstand tutorial just the other day. I might share it on the page or something. But I was like, oh, that's 4 things you could like kind of like just put into a class. Give people the idea of like what your body really needs to be doing. Handstand. You can even do it from, just small adjustments in sun salutation. We're going to start with our L-sits. So bring your feet to the mat. Bring your hands beside your hips. And as you exhale, lift up and back. Keep that tuck. Shifting back, working to lift your feet. Keep your shoulders relaxed. Breathe. Lift. Press. 10 seconds. Breathe. I think pretty much everybody in here's doing a good job with it, but just like we were talking about before class, last week we had 2 classes that were over 20 people, so you've got to register to reserve your spot. So the thing I would hate for more than anything is for, even if you're just driving across town, it's still an ordeal to come over here. But I know we have a lot of people that are coming in from Summerall, Laurel. Like, I would feel really bad for them to drive that far and be like, oh, I'm here for, sorry, because it legitimately is a problem when you can't put another mat on the floor. I mean, Caitlin last night, she didn't have a mat. She was just kind of walking up and down the roads. That's all she could do. Still, like, in the back of my brain, I'm like kicking the contractor for cutting out that 4 feet in the back.
I think back here.
Yeah, no. I was like, but the room's supposed to go back another 4 feet. That's another 3 people, man. Like, nobody knows. You do something like this and you learn like every step of the way. Like, oh well, if I ever do this again, that. Feet down. Here we go. 5 more seconds and we'll sit up and back. Breathe. Tuck. Lift. A foot if you can. Two. 15 seconds, you got it. Shoulders relaxed. 5 seconds. Sort your wrist out. All kind of recovering. Really just the 3 things we're going to talk about to get into that handstand in shape today. One is your shoulder mobility, like the ability to get your shoulders to your ears or past your ears. So as we're going through these things, you're going to notice like, oh, I have a hard time with that. So you need to make a mental note. Shoulder mobility is something that I need to work on, okay? The second thing is draw. It's like the way she described it was kind of cool. She's like drawing your ribs down. It's essentially like exhaling all the air out, like pulling your abs down toward your hips. So that's like giving you this like stability in your torso. And the last thing is like squeezing your glutes together, and like hugging your legs in at the same time. So your body's in this, at this, straight up. Your ribs are going down toward the center. Your legs are pulling up toward the center. So you have this energetic, like, straight line that you're connecting. But how do you breathe when you're holding your abs in? So there's this fine thing you have to work on, right? How do you breathe in L-sit? Take somebody brand new in L-sit. How do you tell them to breathe? Now, it could be something you're still working on, but you're already learning how to do it. Because you're tucking, you're pressing, you're lifting, and you're obviously breathing. 40, 45 seconds. One more time. Here we go. This time, really focus on your breath. Keep the core engaged, up, back, rise up, shift back, breathe. Shoulders relax. Good. Long, 20 seconds. Breathe. Seconds. You can float your feet. Last 10. Good. You take your blocks. Kind of move them out of your way. Lock the door. Once you wipe your knees a couple times, left and right. Hips warm up. Lean back, take your feet up. And simulate an L-sit. So press your hands down, turn your legs and tuck. So you might start to see the correlation between the L-sit, both. Very similar engagement. Hold. Breathe. 3, 2. So one of the things you can do with that nasal breath that you really can't do as well with belly breath, or mouth belly breath, is you can direct the air like in different parts of your lungs. So when you just go, you don't have anywhere to put that but where it goes. Does that make sense? And you haven't experienced that, but that's what that breath does. It's just like here. That's kind of it. But the nose breath, as you sip in, you can kind of feel other places that you can fill up. So if your core is on, you can breathe into like the upper chambers of the lungs, different places, so you can still breathe. So that's just retraining, because you're usually this, you can't do that, and it's not going to work. You've got to be doing that short kind of nasal breath. So let's lift our feet up again. Think about the L-sit. Relax your shoulders down your back. Pull your belly button in towards your spine. And breathe through your nose. Relax your shoulders. Hold your shape for 3. Good. 2. Lower yourself to a hover. So the legs stay up. The shoulders stay up. The head stays up. The arms reach back. And flatten your hands as though they're flattening on the floor. So your arms are behind your ears or working that way. You're bending your wrist toward that 90-degree angle. Move toward a plow. Lift your feet up towards your hands. again, if you were doing that mouth belly breath, it's not going to work here. You have to breathe through your nose. Inhale. Feel where it fills up. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Let's begin to roll forward and back with our breath. Widen your stance a little bit. Thinking about how much you've got to tuck and roll to come up to the standing position. Lightly lower yourself back down. About 3 more. Those little transitions. Roll up to a forward fold. So bend your knees, bend your hips. Let your head hang heavy. Sway your head out side to side, sway your body side to side. Draw in deep, steady breath. Coming back to center, slide your hands out your legs, inhale, lengthen forward. So weight your heels, shoulders drawing down your back, crown of your head reaching forward, as much length as you can. Fold again. Take the flat hands down, so bend your knees and hips a lot. Draw your forearms forward towards your hands. You're stretching the wrist crease there. Now, hopefully you can see that you can get that good 90-degree angle, bend in the wrist. And if that's difficult, you know that your wrist is a little tight. Not judgment, it's just something that you have to notice. Press down through your heels and inhale, roll up through your spine. Show your shoulders up. Take them back. So the shoulders are retracting, the blades are retracting down your back. Reach your arms up. Now, try not to lift your chest. So keep retracting your shoulders down while you straighten your arms. Bring your feet a little closer together. Inhale to fill up your belly. Exhale, release the air and draw your ribs down towards your hips. Squeeze your glutes a little bit. Roll your legs in toward the center. Now take your hands and press them into the ceiling. So you're reaching the hand, the palm of the hand up, keeping your arms reaching up, but you're not lifting your shoulders yet. Good. Now, extend your arms up so your shoulders lift. Lower your shoulders down, keeping that length. 1. Extend up. Good. 2. What's going on with your belly and your glutes? Keep them active. Through the nose. 3. 1 more lift. And fold. Lengthen. Plant, step back. Find your strong plank. So your fingers are wide. Your heels reaching back. You're in a pretty straight line. Shift forward. Press to lower. Slow and control. 3, 2, down. Curl up to cobra. Shift forward. Hug back. More feet, more spine, more glutes. Less hands. 3, 2. Lower your hands. Tuck your toes up and back. Down face. Bicycle up your heels. Shake out your head and your shoulders, your neck. Look to the top of the mat and just walk it forward this first time. Keeping your hands down as long as you can. Flatten the hands. Bend the wrist to a 90-degree angle. Active through the hands. Half a lift. Long spine. Fold down. Press down through your heels. Inhale, roll up. Shoulders roll up and down. Reach your arms up, but don't let your chest get involved. Put your palms on the ceiling. Exhale, draw your ribs down towards your hips. Squeeze your glutes and spin the legs. Breathe. You're breathing a different part of your body. I feel it here. Not the belly. The belly is active, but the air is going into other parts of the lungs. Inhale, reach. Exhale, fold. Find length in your spine. Plant your hands, float your feet back and lower through. Slow and control. Inhale, curl up, cobra. Exhale, press back. Downward face. Breathing in your down dog for 3. Looking forward, bending into your knees. If you feel like you want to go ahead and give it a shot, bend deep, look forward, float your feet closer to your hands, and lift halfway. Fold down. Press down, roll up. Shoulders up and back. Arms reach tall. Try to keep your chest out of it, but straighten your arms, take it behind your ears more. Flatten your palms on the ceiling. Squeeze your glutes, lower your ribs towards your hips. So that feeling you've got right now, if you did the little hop forward a second ago, were you doing all this? It's kind of rhetorical, but it's not, because you probably weren't. This is a lot of stuff to think about, right? All this stuff has to be going on when you pass the handstand shape. So think about it. Arms back, ribs down, glutes in, legs scooping, breathing. Reach up, fold down. Find length, hands down, float back, lower through. Upward face, inhale. The only thing on the ground is your toes and your hands if possible. With a breath in, chin to chest, take it all the way back. So how are you going to find all those shapes? The arms behind the ears, the ribs toward the hips, the glutes active, the legs hugging in. Bend into your knees, look forward. As you spring up, see how much of those things you can activate. And lift halfway. Deep fold down. Press down and roll up. Shrug the shoulders, roll them back. Reach the arms. Press the palms into the ceiling, squeeze the glutes, lower the ribs towards your hips. Up. Hands low. Good. Grab your water, your towel if you need it. So I know it's a lot. It's like, oh, doing that during vinyasa is a lot to think about. But when we, in a minute, in the practice, we're going to hit the wall. You're going to have more time to like statically think about all these things, right? But just start thinking like, if any of the parts, like, oh, this is hard to get my arms behind my ears. Shoulder, mobility, okay? Oh, my wrist doesn't want to do that. Wrist. I mean, can everybody kind of feel that down? So that might be something like, people like, we don't think about our bodies a lot. Our culture is kind of designed to be like, you shouldn't think about your body. It's inherently not good, or whatever those weird things that we have. Puritanical things that have trickled down through the centuries in our society, you know? I tell this story like a lot of times, like training in Miami, it's like they're trying to teach us stuff with our glutes, and like you can tell all the like people like me, I'm just like, I can't move my hips. Human people have no problem moving their hips. They're like, you know, like whipping in and out. Like, dang, you know, like, are we the same thing? Like, is it the same setup? Like, and it is. But we were taught to be a certain way, and wear your clothes a certain way, and that's not good, and you're shamed your bodies, right? So maybe you don't feel that. Work to feel that, okay? You need to know what's going on in your body when you're in a shape. So bring your feet together. Really press your heels down so you can feel your glutes activated. Reach your arms up. There's another chance to take your arms and take them behind your ears a little. Keep them there. As you squeeze your legs, stick your glutes back and lower. Look down at your toes. Make sure you can see your toes. Try not to bend forward. Keep your arms reaching back. Breathe 3. Good. Spin those pinkies in. Breathe 2. Fold down. Inhale for length in your spine. Exhale, take your left foot to the back of the mat. for that deep runner's lunge. Pressing through the right heel, rotating the knees, rotating out. Scissor your arms, reaching behind you. Scissor your legs, and sweep your arms up. Find that strong crescent lunge. Good, breathe. Working to straighten that rear leg, working to lift the arms. Maybe hook your thumbs and bend back a little bit. Taking the arms further behind the ears for 3. Good. 2. Hands to the mat. Foot your right foot back to meet your left. Shoot forward and lower through. Stopping at 1 inch from the ground and coming up to upward facing dog. Pressing back to 5. Downward facing dog. Widen your stance. Fingers are spread wide. Look forward. I want you to take a bend in your knees to try to get your glutes as close to your heels as you can. So it's deep. You're squatting down. Look forward and spring and lower. Try to lower in that deep squat. Look forward, spring, press, lower. Beautiful. One more. To the top of the mat. Drop your feet up to meet your hands. Lift in halfway and deep fold down. Feet together. Sit your hips back. Take those arms behind your ears. Now take the heels and hips closer. Breathe 3. Spin those pinkies in. Breathe 2. Rise up. Lift your thumbs. Lengthen and back. So shoulders back. Hips forward. Squeeze the glutes. Feel those hands stand. Legs. 3. Good. 2. Hands up. Breath in. Breath out. So some of these things I can tell by looking at people's faces. You're pushing yourself like too far. So like if you're doing that back bend and your face goes, you're going like, number one, you're wasting energy in your face. That may not seem like a big deal, but it is because we're trying to really direct all the energy into the parts of the body we want to use. And a handstand requires a lot of that. It's not just like, I can think when we're all starting, it's like, just throw your body up and like hope and pray and try to straighten out, right? But then that's where we're starting. But we're trying to get, and you've seen it, man. You've seen these people who put their hands down, shoot forward, then their feet get light, and just go. I promise you, that's not a little Hail Mary thing. That's super body control awareness, right? So we're trying to work towards that. So bring your feet together and go to the other side. Zip your legs up, squeeze your glutes. Reach your arms up. Take your arms behind your ears as you sit your hips back. Breathe. Spin those pinkies in. Look up. Open the shoulders. Open the chest. 3. Good. 2. Fold. Find length in your spine. Plant your hands and float your right foot to the back of the mat from that deep lunge. Make sure that that left knee is stable. I like to lift my toes up, bring them down, and spread them out. Gives me a little more base, feels like. Take your arms, reach it behind you. Scissor your legs, sweep your arms up. Deep crescent lunge, reaching tall, nice and breathing. Lifting, maybe hook your thumbs, lift a little higher, take your arms behind your ears more. For 3, open those shoulders, good. 2, hands to the mat, float your left foot back, shift forward and lower through. 1 inch from the ground, going to upward facing dog. Lift. Exhale back, down facing dog. Widen your stance. Fingers nice base. Bend the hips low, low, low. So you lower your knees toward the floor. Look forward. Spring press. See if you can do that. Ribs toward hips. 3 times. Eyes forward. Grab your feet up with your hands. Halfway lift. Deep fold down. Sit back, sweep your arms up, take your arms behind your ears. Take those hips lower, look up, squeeze. 3, good. 2, rise up, hook your thumbs, bend it back. Hips forward, squeeze those glutes. 3, arms behind the ears. 2, hands lower. 1, good. Grab your water. Oh. Yes, good. Quiet tonight.
Yeah, it is.
No, quiet.
Oh, no.
How y'all feeling with that?
Well, I think
It's fun, I want to do it again.
What?
She just like to laughing in here.
I told she told her.
I laughed in class. Well, last night, they're like, you can laugh in class. All right.
Open or close.
You can just leave kind
I'll
of
laugh at myself.
let's a little air in and out. Because Lord knows there was no air circulating last night. I was just like, sweat. And I'm like, there's this guy next to me, like it's like his second class, and he was just like, he's looking over at me. I was like, forget about all that, man. I was like, we're all going through this. You know, he was like, I can't, he can't do stuff. And he's like, here's forward fold. You know, I'm like, don't worry about it, man. Just stay in here. Don't leave. Don't run away. He's like, huh? I'm like, yeah, promise. Just gotta be stubborn, man. Just stubborn. Just keep coming back. Keep coming back.
When I started,
Yeah.
this hurt before full.
Yeah.
When I started with
Yeah. Mince thing, right? Yeah. I remember that.
Can you tell anybody in himself that can be rest and say yeah?
Well, it's a choice. I mean, unless you have none of us have that. Like a leg missing. Like, well, obviously you can't do warrior one on one leg. It's pretty hard. Something, so you make those things, and you make excuses, and you make it happen. It's like anybody that says, I can't do a handstand, you're setting yourself up for failure. Like, we're teaching you how to do that. And like, we're all working on it ourselves. So it's not like, me or Emily or Caitlin is like, oh, you can't do a handstand. Like, we're working on the same things. Yeah. Let's do a couple more standing things. Try to bring in those ribs down, those glutes active. So let's spin your knees, just like we do in mountain pose. Spin them out. So because that's like external rotation of the thighs. So let's just reverse that. Go internal. Rotate them in. So like literally you should feel your heels trying to spin out. External, out. Glutes on. Arms up. But don't get into your chest. Keep your shoulder neutral right here. Now press up and down. So move your scapula up, down, up, down. Right knee up. Keep the ribs moving down towards your hips. Arms reaching up. Lift the shoulder. Point the palms at the ceiling. Down. Lift them up 2. Lift them up 3. Just keep them up and step the right foot back for warrior 1. Square the right hip forward. Keep the palms pressing to the ceiling as you bend into that front thigh. See if you can get your glutes a little more active. So in this, it's hard for me to feel the front glute. So I have to work really hard to kind of like feel that leg back. That's no problem. Let's squeeze out. You feel that? The front one's harder, but you got to be able to do it. Because when you're handstand, your feet aren't on the ground. Open to warrior 2. Front Knees safely tracking over the front. You peel your fingers up toward the ceiling. Get that 90 degree. Breathe. Yep. It's a different feeling in the shoulder, right? So back, this warrior. Bending into that front thigh. Left arm to left knee. Right arm up. Keep the hand bent. Weird little 90. So like the wrist, the carpal is what's reaching up toward the ceiling. Fingers are peeling back. You should start to feel your forearm pretty soon. Arm toward the front of the room. Left arm is alongside. Lean the right shoulder back. Tuck the left ribs under. Bend into that front thigh and breathe for 3. Good. 2. Peaceful, tilt it back. Follow your hands to the floor. Step your left foot back. Maybe it hovers. Just shift through your plank, stopping 1 inch from the ground and pause. You are literally 1 inch from the ground. Your hands are down, your toes are down. Slowly shift forward and rise up. Upward face. Relax your shoulders down the back. Tuck your chin toward your chest. Taking the breath in and press and roll back. Breath in. This is when you start to understand that down dog really is a resting place compared to that other stuff. Bend your knees. Give it a float. Give it a hop. Lift halfway. Deep pull down. Slow control. Roll up to your spine. Up and back. Mountain pose. Breath in. Breath out. This time we're going to bend our hands here and slowly reach them forward. So plug in, arms plug in the shoulders. And take them up. Squeeze your glutes, lower your ribs, down toward your hips. Pulse your shoulder blades up. 1. Down. Move them. 2. Down. Squeeze the glutes. Out and rotate the thighs. 3. Take the left knee. Lift it up. Squeeze those glutes. Lowering the ribs down toward the hips. Step the left foot back. For your warrior 1. Squaring the left hip forward, bending into the right knee. Keeping the arms reaching and the arms going behind your ears if you can. So squeeze your glutes. You can feel the left one, the right one's a little harder. So it's like a little hug in. Torso feels a little stronger. Keep the wrist and open to warrior 2. Knees in a safe spot. Hips over. Torso over hips. Should be filling the forearms. And the hands right. 3. Good. 2. Tilt back. Cartwheel your right forearm to your right knee. Take the left arm up. Palm pressing up. Extra, take the right arm by the right ear. Lean the left shoulder back. Tuck the right arm, right ribs under and breathe. 3. Good. 2. Tilt it back. Cartwheel toward the floor. Step your right foot back to your left. Take your time. Shift forward and lower, coming 1 inch from the ground and stop. You're not on the ground. Your toes on the ground, the hands are on the ground. Slowly drive forward and rise up. Upward face. Good. Relax your shoulders, tuck your chin, roll it back. Downward face. Breathing down dog for 3. So think about all those things that we're trying to do. We're trying to get the arms behind the ears. Can you do that in your down dog? Bend your knees down toward the floor. Stick your hips higher and see how your head moves into that position in your down dog. Straighten your legs a little more. Lower your heels toward the floor. So even your down dog is a way to open your chest, open your shoulders. When you come to down dog, if you're practicing here, a lot. Try that again. Bend the knees. Lower the chest toward the floor. Open up through your shoulders and your chest. And then straighten the knees a little more. Can you draw your ribs down? Shoulder your hips. Can you squeeze your glutes? Spinning the legs. Now you've got the position in down dog. Keep the position, bend your knees. Look forward, keep as much of that active as you can, and float your feet up. Come down. Good. Slowly roll up your spine. Draw your shoulders up. Roll your shoulders back and down. Good. Excellent.
That's a nice hop, Susan.
Saw some good ones, man.
Nice
Saw some,
coming out of that, all that.
saw some people sticking it. How's it feel?
Real nice.
Feel better? It's one of those things we got to practice. So we're now come to this wall. This is the block wall. This is the solid wall. So just find you a spot. You don't need your blocks or anything. We're going to come up, but before we go up, we're going to think about all those things, right? So practice is palms at the ceiling, shoulders back, belly, ribs down. So almost like you're getting shorter. Glutes active, spin the legs out. So feel it here. You're tight, your body's strong. You sway around a little bit. Just notice how you're connected. Upper and lower torso. So as we get up on the wall, I want you to close your eyes and like memorize this. Glutes, spinning out, thighs, ribs down. So when you're upside down, ribs are moving up towards your hips. Right? It's a little different. Feel this. Take a picture. Right. Release your arms. Good. So y'all have different ways of getting up to the wall. I don't care what you use. Y'all can help if somebody needs it. You can split leg. Then you find all those things that we were talking about. Look, shoulders behind ears. Ribs up toward the hips. Spinning the legs, lifting. The wall's there. If you find all that, you might be able to come off the wall. And just hold it as long as you can. I'm not going to give you like, we're going to hold it 30 seconds. You can split leg up to the wall. You can do whatever you need to get up the wall. And I'll come around so you can tell you gut. It's one leg at a time, maybe. We'll see how that works. Yeah. So what you can do is just hold it down dog, close to the wall. And lift one leg as close to the wall as you can. So the three-legged dog. Yes. Keep the three-legged dog. Look forward. Yes. Move back a little bit with your hands. So you look forward. It's going to give you a little bit more balance. You can switch legs in a second too. Really press. Good. Now you know when you get tired and you need to take a break. Nice.
Look, Daniel.
Nice. Good. Nice. So we've done a lot in our shoulders already, so don't push yourself to the fat point. You're like, I'm going to fall down. Try to do all those things. Shoulders behind ears. Ribs moving toward hips. Glute active. Breathe. Nice. Good, Sarah. Good.
Yeah, another one, yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
You do, Ollie.
It almost pulls you off the wall, doesn't it? Yeah, that's good. That's awesome. You do all that, it pulls you off the wall. As opposed to like, I'm trying to get myself off the wall. Do all those things and you naturally start to straighten up. Yeah, it's pretty great. Couple more. Any specific questions anybody's feeling you're having? I know we're tired.
No.
One thing I like to do, I know we're going up. Rob and I were talking about the other day. Nadine, She used to teach at the yoga room. She taught like the only eating power class in Hattiesburg. She was from New York, so it was good. But one time I was taking a class with her, and so she goes, I got to teach you how to do this. So she took a strap, she tied my ankles together. So now, to get up to the wall, I have to come down here and really use my glutes. See what I'm saying? So it might be something to play with. Like, if you're just playing with it, don't worry about that. But if you're already like, oh, look, this is so easy for me to do, right? Think about your heels being tied together.
That's what we did last week, right, Jamie?
Yes.
We had the block.
Yeah. Yes, very similar. We're hugging in with the block.
Yeah.
It's the same feeling on the thighs. Just give it a couple of shots and see. Nice. And you come out and switch your leg. I like that split leg come out. It slows things down. Good.
Ugh. Why can't I hold it?
When you work holding. Because we've been working our butts off for 45 minutes. That's one reason. Nice. Look at that. See it. See
Yes.
it.
Yeah.
See it. See it. Good.
No, I mean, be proud of yourself. You know? I think ribs back instead of
It does the same thing.
It's like back.
Hollow.
Yeah.
Yes.
I have a problem with my back.
I'm not sure
Hollow.
what variance in
That's
that.
getting hollow in the,
Yeah.
like you're moving your organs down. Maybe. Yeah, there's a different way to think about it. Rob, come here before you go on the wall. I'll show you something. Rob, come up here. So Rob made a plan, I don't know how many months ago, back when he was yoga a month. He was going to be able to do a handstand this year. Freestanding handstand. Middle leg. Which leg is going up with, Rob? Right. Okay. All those things that we were just talking about. I know it's hard. Put your hands down. Come on up. All right. Now, activate the shoulders. Bring the ribs in. Squeeze the glutes. Breathe. I'm tired too.
So good. Get it, Rob. Look at you, yes. That's
Excellent.
awesome.
Excellent.
Okay.
And I mean,
Raise your brand.
hey man, that's the best time. I mean, sometimes that's the best way to do it. Like, just like,
Have some body
you
line.
have to do it.
Yeah.
So y'all saw how I spotted him, right? So has anybody not done that before? We're not going to do it today. I'm going to get you used to it. So we need to start, especially if we have a class like people like I know can work on it. You got to start kind of like helping each other. See what I was doing is I was kind of like trying to get him as straight as I could see, but then I was just kind of like using my hands like to not let him go too far. Because you want the person on their hands to work. We're not just holding them up. I mean, I can do that too. That's not helping you at all. Like that's you got to get comfortable there. And you're like feeling all that, and you're like, oh, this is happening. So if you feel this, you're not doing. Susan said she likes to think of like ribs back.
That's kind of, I don't know, I have like an arch in my back or something. Yeah, Rob.
So if you get it out, you squeeze those glutes together. Straight. Like Rob said, it pulls you off the wall. When you're doing, when you're doing all, so this is coming in, and that's coming that way. So you see, it's like it's straightening that part of your spine. So it's like here and here at the same time. Takes that.
Kind of like get your booty in.
Yes. So you're starting with your booty out. So this brings the booty out more, then you keep that, and you bring the booty in. So the hips are going like that. And kind of helps down to the mat. Good work. Your feet forward. Knees up. I'm working this whole class. Why stop at this point? Because I'm tired. We won't do it for long. Lift your feet. So that belly thing we're talking about, whether it's ribs down or ribs back, find it here. So it goes You get engaged. Now squeeze your glutes more. Reach your arms and legs. If all that's going, this is like nothing anymore. Because that belly and the hips are what's holding you in your hover. Keep the hover and reach the arms back. Press them into the imaginary ground. Take your arms behind your ears. Squeeze those glutes. Spin the thighs. That's what it should feel like when you move your hands. Eric, reach your arms further back, further back. Yes. Now, hug the ribs back or in. Squeeze the glutes and rise up. Yes. So somebody will, oh my God. Yes. Core, you're strengthening your core by doing it. Chin tucks. Legs reach. Ribs back. Glutes on. Lower. Lower. Hover. Arms overhead. Press them into the imaginary floor. Take the arms behind your ears. Breathe. 3. You got it. 2. Ribs back. Glutes on. Float up. Last one. Deep breath. Chin tuck. Ribs back. Glutes on. And take it down to the hover. Take the arms overhead. Press them in the imaginary floor. Think about the handstand. Close your eyes. This is you in the middle of the room. This is what it feels like. It's not easy, right? Hold it 3. Imagine it. See it. 2. And on that. Down. Breath in. Out. Emily was like getting on me one time. She said, I can't visualize when my body's in pain. And I'm like, well, it's something to work on. Something that, like, I think that we used to practice a lot back when I was bodybuilding, is we would just go for, like, we want something to be completely annihilated, some body part, right? And, like, we would just keep going and going and going and going. And, like, my training partners, I had really good training partners. One of them was a psychiatrist, and he would just scream at me and be like, stay in this, stay in this. Don't run from this. Stay in this pain. Stay in this spot. Visualize it. So we always run from uncomfortable stuff. That's where we go. Facing that discomfort, making it our friend. That's how we get stronger. Bring your feet to the mat. Hip width distance apart. And then lift up into a bridge pose. So hook your arms in, press your heels down, and rise up. Good, strong lift. Glutes are active. Hips are lifted. Toes are light. A little more as you breathe. Good. 2. Slowly take the hips toward the mat. Once you wipe your knees, left and right. You're back up to center. When you go up another bridge, you can take it to a wheel, that's fine. Go up the same way. Feet close to hips, hip width distance, hips rise. Hands down by your ears, elbows pointed up, top of your head. Hug your elbows in, press your heels down, straighten your arms and breathe. 5, heel pressing, hips rising. 4, elbows hugging in. 3, good. 2, head, shoulders, back. Once you wipe your knees, circle your wrists a few times. Breathe. One more back bend, bridge, real opportunity. Be close to hips. Hip width distance apart, hug the arms in. Rise up with the hips. Keep the lift if you're moving in the wheel. Hug the elbows in, press the heels down. Rise up and breathe for 5. Press the heels down, straighten the arms. 4. Can you take your shoulders behind your ears? 3. Good. 2. Come back. Circle the wrists. Once you work your knees. Okay. Take the arms overhead. Point your feet to the ceiling. L shape. Work to straighten the legs by pressing the heels up and curling the toes back. Breathe. So either stay in this shape or keep pressing the hands down. Lift your hips, lift your legs, and move toward plow. Lift it straight up if you're in plow. Your legs are relaxing. Your feet are going towards your hands. Where are you breathing now? That mouth breath is not going to work. I feel it like in like the back part of my lower lungs, maybe mid back. Breathing. Hold in your shape for 3. Good. 2. Slowly roll your hips toward the mat. Catch your feet as they pass. You're landing in our dead bug. So the tailbone is rooted down, the heels are pointed up. You're pulling into your feet, drawing the knees toward the outer edges of your body, simultaneously kicking back into your hands. Breathe. Three more breaths here in the shape. Release the grip on your feet. Hug your knees in towards your chest. So reach around the top of your knees, squeeze them in, and circle on your lower back and your hips. Take your circles in both directions. And lower your feet down. So cross your left knee on top of your right knee. Scoot your hips over to the right. Tee your arms out, lift your right foot, and lower your crossed legs over to the left. Neck can be in any position that's kind of comfortable for you. Breathe. Notice where you feel tension in your head. And relax into the shape. Inhale, draw those knees back up. Uncross. Place the left foot down, cross the right knee on top, so really get those legs nice and tight. Scoot over toward the left side. Keep the arms in a T and lower the hips over toward the right. Working to keep the left shoulder down. Breathe. Relax into your shape just a little bit more. Part of your body can soften. Breathe here for 3, 2. Draw your knees back up, uncross them. So if there's any other movement or shape you feel like you need to complete your practice, go ahead and take that now for a couple of breaths. On your way into final relaxation. Legs extended long. Feet relaxed out to the sides, comfortable arm position. Allow yourself to be rhythm. Deep breath. Get some movement into your fingertips. Toes. Big inhale, stretch your arms long behind you, reach the back of your fingers forward to your feet. Big full body stretch. As you exhale, bringing your feet to the mat, knees are up. Rolling to your right side, using your right bicep as a pillow. Walking your hands a little closer to your body, pressing yourself up to a comfortable seat. Sit nice and tall. Use your hands to support your torso, or your shoulders back and down. Close out with 2 breaths. Exhale out as much as you can. Fill up. Exhale this out. Inhale. Exhale. Closing. Bring your hands together. Forward center. I appreciate the effort that you all put into your practice. Showing up, supporting each other in the studio space. You all have a wonderful rest of your Thursday. See you soon. We do have Saturday after the 10 o'clock class, that's 10 to 11:15. We have a self-defense from 11:30 to 1. My jiu-jitsu instructor, Brian Clark, is coming. I don't know, I think Rob might be a bad guy, I'm not sure. Rob might be an attacker person. But so it's not included on the package because you have to pay for people. But it's $25 before that day. And if you're unlimited, you get 10% off. So it's like $30 a day. So if you want to do it, you don't know how to do the discount or anything. Actually, I can refund the Sunday from 2 to 4, my friend Hobby is coming and doing an introduction to Zen meditation. So if you're interested in that, that is included in class packages. So you can sign up for a spot. 9 or 10 people right now, so it's a pretty good turnout, so that's good. We're not going to meditate for 2 hours, so don't let that freak you out. It'll go fast. And it may not take the whole 2 hours.
He does have a stick, so he can come back.
I've got my stick.
You're not sitting up
Rakusa.
Pow.
Hey, it makes you sit up good.
Man, I tell you, I got-
No, we won't be beating people with the sticks.